I thought about it's like that's like on barely. Well, no, it's not on Saturday. I guess it was yesterday technically.
No. Friends, this is Warhammer 40K Rogue Trader Tide of Iron, Season 2, Episode 9, The Lidless Stare. You might be thinking, but last episode was Episode 9, but what you don't know is that there was a skip between Episode 6 and Episode 8, so Episode 8 is relabeled to Episode 7, Episode 9 is relabeled to 8. This is the new 9! You might be asking, who are you? I am your complex and excitable storyteller, APGamingREAL. Some have described me as mysterious and eloquent, but I am not telling the story this episode because I am the player. Let's do intros really fast because we started late, and honestly, I really want to play, and it's been fucking insane week. Grimdark James, you are the storyteller for this session. Please tell us what you can about yourself.
So right now, YouTube viewers are currently checking to make sure they haven't got 1.5 times speed turned on from your intro there.
Listen, I moderated my speed. I didn't go at auctioneer level, okay?
Okay,
I kept it to...
We need to do like a video montage of this introduction at higher speeds and lower speeds, and then compare them to one another.
I am your complex and excitable...
You know, it's possible to change the speed without changing the pitch if you got the right software.
No. Pointed at 0.75 speed.
Do the intro
normal.
Backwards. Arthur, that is my next challenge to you. Backwards introduction.
Eloquent and mysterious, as me described, have some.
Because when I was first creating my podcast, I actually created like a quick pre-recorded legalese bit for the end of the podcast about copyrights and who owns what. And I sped it up 2 times. I realized I sounded like a chipmunk. So I then found a way to speed it up 2 times without changing. That's it. Yeah.
Get you back to the original. Okay.
But yes, I am Grimdark James. I'm back here after Cyberpunk on Wednesday. I've not done much since then, to be honest. I have just played more VR games. I tried out... what's it called? Freediver Triton Down, which is an interesting game to play given that I have
you have thalassophobia,
except that I don't really, because it's not really open ocean, it's all escaping from a sinking boat. So I think that claustrophobia would more be the fear it would trigger in people rather than thalassophobia. So I don't have an issue with it, and I'm actually enjoying the game.
So is claustrophobia where you're scared of open water that you can't see the bottom of? Yes,
well, thalassophobia is a fear of open water. That's right, yeah. So
and it's a very reasonable fear to have.
But what's funny though is that along with that, I also have something called submechanophobia, where I don't like seeing images of like mechanical or man-made objects underwater, which this game doesn't seem to trigger. I think it's got to be combined with that open water thing, you know. So like a picture of a ship's propeller in the ocean is something that bothers me, whereas a picture of a ship's propeller in a dry dock doesn't. Likewise, being inside a sinking ship in this game seems perfectly fine in my VR senses. So
Subnautica must fuck you up so hard then.
I don't know. I've never played it, but I have.
Don't. I don't have thalassophobia, and I set up a base at the edge of the dead zone, and the whole time I was like, all right, so there's a massive drop off immediately outside my base, and when you go down there's weird spooky creatures that make fucking weird noises, and everything is dead and made out of bones. And that's not even the worst part of the game. That's not even close to the worst part. It's just the first really bad one.
Arthur play it because Arthur like sort of triggered my like he was speaking with my internal monologue while playing the game, like, you know. So what's it over there? I'm afraid of that thing over there.
I'm super fucking frightened of like underwater stuff. Like I'm pretty sure Half-Life 1 gave me the inert fear of being video game water.
Half-Life 1 was the first game as well that also got me when you first came across those
monster fish. Oh my god, holy fuck. Yeah. Also, in Ocarina of Time, they had like a well that you could go down, and there was like a giant shark on the bottom that was a static image, but that fucked me up.
Actually, going further back for me, Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight, the static like jellyfish like things in that, and also the eel like sort of red sort of creatures in that as well.
What was it? Shadow of the Empire on Nintendo 64, the sewer level.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Dianoga.
But here's the thing: I played Subnautica and I finished it, and it never once triggered anything for me, like never once. So, I don't know. It's very strange. Like I didn't have any problems with it, but you should play it in VR. It's not super well adjusted for VR, but you can play it in VR.
Okay, well, the thing I like about Triton Down is it doesn't rely on jump scares at all. It's just an eerie environment. Same. I also got a escape room game called The Room Dark Matters, which is like a series of escape rooms tied together in a sort of an 1890s sort of horror style plot, which I've got to check out when I get a chance to as well. So, but other than that, for me, I mean, today's my last official day of vacation, so I'm back to work tomorrow. So I was sort of doing all the stuff I promised my wife I'd do in my holidays, which included taking down the kids' old trampoline, taking out a bunch of stuff to the rubbish tip to get rid of it. I've been pretty busy doing household minutiae. I've really got to catch up on your games, AP. I haven't watched Oath of Endersteel for a while. I haven't watched any Solaris Knights since the first round. I was just talking
to Radasaurus about that. Since neither you nor him are watching Solaris Knights, I really feel like I've done something wrong with the series.
No, it's time for me. I said to you, I've been watching Jesse Cox's Star Wars series as well.
Yeah, that's a good one to watch.
The other thing is that I've been trying to paint more. I've been having shows on in the background while painting, and it's easier for character to character RP stuff to just listen to and not watch than it is for Solaris Knights, where you got to pay attention to what the board looks like, and that's where I sit. But look, I've waffled long enough. Please go to someone else.
Hondo. You're muted.
Now you're not talking at all.
Big Spoon, let's go to you.
Still muted.
Yeah, I am Big Spoon. Boy, it's been a week. It's been a week. So I really haven't done a whole lot other than sit and watch and see what's going on. But I think there's going to be some interesting stuff in the next wave of Solaris Knights. I think that's going to be pretty awesome.
You would say that.
I would say that. I would say that.
Clan apologist.
I'll own that. I am a clanner apologist. That's for sure.
No, obviously you're just speaking from the history of the clans. You're just trying to explain their moral lessons.
and about why they deserve to rule the inner sphere.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I agree.
But I am also ready to play tonight. I'm ready to go. I think this is gonna be good. Go deal with crazy navigators.
We need a sci-fi dystopian game to distract from our dystopian present.
Yeah, Jesus.
Please. Pondo, what do you got?
Nothing much. I been mainly painting myself. Actually, I think my intercessor's almost done. I think I just need to fix up the helmets, at least the first squad, and do some slight shading with the purity seals and whatnot.
New FAQ came out yesterday. You didn't see?
I saw that it came out. I haven't looked at it in detail. I know there's some point changes and whatnot.
For Marines, it only really affected 3 different units: Outriders,
Eradicators, and
Interceptors.
Yeah. Really, the main one needed that was the Eradicators. Interceptors, I can see why. Outriders, that seemed weird, but I can also understand why. But no, I got that, and that I was also going to say while James mentioned the thing about just having stuff in the background, that's how I got caught up in Cyberpunk 2020. Was having that 0.25 speed and just having it play in the background while I painted.
Oh, what was the part that stuck out to you the most?
Sorry, at 0.25 speed or 1.25?
That's also
1.25 speed.
Okay. Yeah, because if it's 0.25 speed.
No wonder it's taking us a lot to catch up.
I'm curious what you think about that game. Where do you? Yeah.
How can I put it into words? I'm drawing a complete blank. I think it's really cool. There's a lot of different things going on. I mean, I've gotten used to the whole Colton thing in there because that used to. I think AP some point switched Colton to Colton.
AP, you're on mute too, by the way.
I believe I call him Colton.
Colton, yeah.
Which is his actual name, but Colton is also Pondo's actual name, so that's why he's complaining.
At first, that really messed with me. I was like, "What?"
Imagine having the world's most popular first name like me, and then you get fucked up real bad. I mean, it used to be. I don't know if it's the same.
Nash?
Now, but
I don't know. That's...
No, David.
No.
Like, I went to high school. There were 3 kids in my class
Mash.
named David. We yeah.
I promise to only call you David when you're in trouble.
You'll never be able to defeat the Knight of the Five Michaels. All right.
So I have in my work, Dave. I work for a David. I work with a David, and I have a David that works for me. And I try to use it. So I have different ways of addressing them. So and sometimes I get them mixed up.
That's when you go, hey man, how's it going?
Hey guy, how you doing there, bud?
You just call everyone David, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore.
But to answer your question, I think it's the ridiculous nature of Cyberpunk. The combat is kind of it definitely shows its age.
Antiquated. That's the nicest way of putting it.
It shows its age, essentially. And I also the whole fumbling on ones. That's also
it's a D10 system. It's very swingy. Yeah.
Because it seems like there's rolls that would be easily passed, and it's just like, all right, you rolled a 1, you fail. You shoot yourself in the face. Sorry.
I'm glad we had that exact moment to sort of showcase the system in such a brilliant way as to a next to impossible roll to fail to still fail with a 10% chance, and spectacularly fail too.
Oh yeah, that did happen in this show too with AP. It was like, I can't fail this roll. Fails.
I mean, it could be easily fixed by just simply making it so that if you roll a fail, you roll another D10 to see how much you take away from your current roll.
But that was like the old, in the old Star Wars West End D6 system, you had a wild dice as well, where the idea was a 1 on the wild dice was a complication of some type. But the issue was you had 16% of your actual actions would fail because of that, regardless of how good you were. So we ended up with making this house rule of saying if you rolled a 1, you'd remove that 1. If the GM couldn't think of something that was interesting that fit with what was going on, you just remove that dice and the next highest dice from the pool. So it was effectively the same as losing 2 dice. But you could still, if you were good enough, you could still succeed even with that takedown.
Yeah, it's like someone who has 10 in body, 10 in reflex, and 10 in like rifles can fail a roll of 30, for example. And it's like, yeah, you fail, and it's like, well, I mean, I just rolled a 1, so.
But I literally had this in my new Nero game on Friday night when I had one player who kept saying when there were a number of skills that he was geared for. And every time it come up, he'd be like, oh, I can only fail on a 1. I can only fail on a 1. Of course, when it got to the most important one, what did he roll? A 1.
1. Yeah.
Every time.
Numenera is a D6 system, if I remember right.
D20.
D20 divided by 3, correct?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, I hate that.
Let's not talk about Numenera. I'm still in a long-running, almost decade-long feud with one of the creators.
Yeah, look, and I still have my own hatred for it as well for stupid reasons. So
I don't know how you manage to piss off so many content creators the way you do.
Wow, it's a small number. How are you going to say a large number?
Well, I mean, because there's not a large number of role-playing book creators in the first place. It's a small pool.
It's literally one person. How many other people do you think I have feuds with in the tabletop RPG writing community?
You just mentioned another one.
I mentioned a writer for BattleTech. He writes the novels.
Oh, okay. I thought it was
my ongoing feud is because he's like, listen, I'm not a Confederate. I just include examples of how the Confederacy was great. I make the heroes talk about how the Confederacy was awesome. I name all of the objects within my books after Confederates, but that's only because I am a historian, not because I love the American flag less than I love the Confederate flag. Because I love the Confederate flag a lot.
Okay. I mean, more power to him, I guess. I don't know.
Oh man, the pause at the beginning and end of that statement.
Thank you. I know.
Well,
that is the thing that
the
will be
only
clipped
other-
and taken out of context in a way that will hurt me in the future.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to be before a judge and be like, "That is out of context."
Like play the 30
Play the
seconds
full
before and
loop.
after.
It's
please.
clearly sarcastic. All right, Dave, do you have anything else, or are we gonna kick this thing off?
It was my intro.
What? I thought we were on Dave's intro.
We never switched yet.
Jesus, Dave, do
Jesus.
your intro.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Dave. I make porn, and I make a living doing it now. So, the switch was not gradual; it happened very quickly, and that's the thing that scares me the most about my new career. Other than that, I mean, like, I don't know. I mean,
Oh my God,
there's a
so
problem I
many
have.
jokes.
Yeah, look, I
can't
think
resist.
we're all just one bad decision away from making porn. I think in all of us.
Yeah.
I say it's like I don't know how
Exactly,
you can
yeah.
make the switch to porn gradual. I think it's kind of something that you just,
God.
Well, I mean, on the reason for that is because I didn't think it would be so lucrative from the very beginning. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like that.
You knew it would be so
that's-
filled with money, the porn industry.
Yeah, look, it's simple, Potter. Right now you sell paint. Tomorrow you could sell porn. Right now I manage people. Tomorrow I could manage porn. You know, it happens just like that.
I
Oh
was saying, it's
Jesus,
like,
James, you
I have a
fucking
hard
murdered
time
me, dude.
seeing it being gradual. It's like, all right, I want to.
So let me tell you, I had a problem today, and this is I won't go into too much detail because I know Arthur doesn't like it when I do that. But
Listen,
there's
it's not
a-
about
there's
the
a-
going into detail that's the problem. I just want to play it. Hey,
Alright,
please,
so I'll be quick.
go ahead.
I'll be quick. So basically, there's an issue I have where I'm not the most I don't have the most knowledge about adult stuff, right? Like I just don't. Like, and I'm sure my level of understanding is probably more than you guys, but it's roughly about the same. Like I don't intentionally go out of my way to learn about this sort of stuff. I just happen to have a business that deals with this sort of content. I work with creatives who are very passionate about this sort of stuff, and they have a reason for working with me and making that sort of stuff. And today I was talking to one of the creatives, and he wanted to include a particular thing in the game, and to me it was very repulsive. Right? I was like, no, that's too much. But then I started investigating like why he would want to add something like that to the game. And it turns out I'm just a basic bitch. And it is a very popular, very influential degeneracy that makes a lot of money. And I'm sitting here just like, how much more shit is there that I have yet to sort of like at what
I don't
point
think
am I
you
going
want to
to
know
get
the answer to that question.
Yeah, I was just saying. I feel like that's a rabbit hole that you can
Well, I
go
can't-
way down.
That's
I kind of need to go down that I kind of need to go down that rabbit hole though, because that's sort of where the big money is, right? Because if you think of it from a perspective of like, if you make a piece of content that is both A, really good, and B, costs a decent amount of money, the people that are starved for that content will fucking buy it so hard, share it so much, and sing its praises even if it has huge faults in it. And that to me is like that is a weird hole. You know what I mean? Like that is a weird thing to have to try and build around. I don't know. That was my experience today. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. We can play now, Arthur.
We could play if I wasn't going to hold us up. Friends, there is a lot of things that happen from time to time. Some of those things are the following. People don't subscribe on YouTube. What if you did subscribe on YouTube? What if the ratio of people who are subscribed and watch my videos on YouTube was 100%? What if everyone who watched subscribed? You would know when the videos go live. Sure, it's the next day at noon, but what if you knew because in your YouTube inbox it arrived? I love Spoon is nodding during this, even though I'm just bullshitting this right off the cuff.
And don't just subscribe, ring that bell too, so you'll
Yeah,
get
exactly.
Yeah, obviously you gotta click the
gotta get those
notification bell.
notifications.
Yeah,
Did you know only
everyone knows now.
72.9% of the people watching this video are not subscribed? Or only
I
there's
don't think
strength.
that's correct. Everything you're saying sounds wrong.
No, I know where you're
36
going with this.
36% of all statistics are made up on the spot anyway, so it's...
Yeah, it's listen. You've always asked where did my secret YouTube stats come from,
Yeah.
and that is because I just don't feel like making them up.
We got to get that secret data.
Secret data. Other than that, James, tell us what's happening next.
Okay, no worries. Previously on Rogue Trader, the Tide of Iron. The group returned for one last audience with the Spider Bride before finally departing Quaddus after some shore leave. During warp transit to Sard 2, the ship is visited by warp specters of unknown voidsmen dying to a horrific bioweapon. The Hand of Calixis arrives in the Sard system, where it finds the Falchian-class frigate Gilded Throne adrift and listing from Sard 2's orbit. Nero, Adrian, and Dawn breach a room aboard the ship to find a desiccated corpse of an assassin who wiped out the whole crew. And finally, Pierre negotiates with the people of Sard 2 to obtain new crew and tradable foodstuff for their journey to Finksworld. Thought for the day, seek no reward but the satisfaction of your master.
Also, a lot of guns.
A lot of guns, that's right. So you did buy a whole bunch of las guns?
10,000 las guns at least.
And also a bunch. Oh, well, no, that hasn't been delivered yet, but a bunch of armor.
That's going to take a while. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we went to old Pete's backyard warehouse where apparently there was like a civil war at some point on the planet, and they just had them stockpiled there. They weren't quite sure what to do with them, so they just left them there.
Just buried them.
Got them real cheap. They were only half charged.
Excellent.
We just made a bonfire and just kind of charged them up real quick. And
is there anything anyone else wants to do before heading to Finksworld?
I want to talk about how my subscriber ratio is 62% to 37.8%, and that the number
10 off,
and that the number of people who've turned on the bell and are subscribed at the same time is 6.2%. That's very low.
So
I feel like we can really up those numbers.
Character?
Oh, I assume that this is actually in character from Nero.
So these are Nero's numbers, okay.
Yeah,
This is Nero's ship-wide newsletter.
No, he's probably explaining it to Cade.
Yeah, he's got a VOD,
look, Captain,
for sure.
I'm thinking of retiring and becoming a YouTuber. What do you think of this?
An Inquisition VTuber. Okay, everybody, let's put our hands together and pray for the Emperor, okay?
No, that would be like a political blogger for sure. The equivalent, man.
I think the one thing would you like to try to get is the gun cutter?
Oh wait, no, we were supposed to start this session with seeing if we can do a roll to get some mercs for Dawn, right? The flame warfare.
We basically determined that was impossible, right? We determined that the number you need to roll would be negative.
Through the rolling.
You're going to have to recruit them personally. Like, acquisition, not going to work. You're going to have to, like, go out and recruit people with, like,
we
persuasion.
did discuss the fact that you are very close to, what's it called again? Bandit Hope.
Yeah, Bandit Hope.
Bandit Hope, which is apparently where there is a battle sister training ground.
Yeah. So we're going to go try to pick up and or kidnap the navigator that we need. From
It's Finksworld's Abandoned Hope, Kolth to drop off the thing, the Tide of Iron and to shoot people, Solomon and then Mara to find the infinite brass clockwork.
You've not been to Sanofia, by the way. Sanofia was still on your list of...
Was it not?
Yes.
I think we're going to go to Kolth.
Okay, I'll add it to the
Sanofia.
list.
Yeah.
I think we need to go to Kolth, drop that off, then go to Sanofia. If we're not needed, if we're needed and can make money, then all power to that. Gun cutter, right? Try to get that. I think I worked it out because I don't think you can get.
Excellent.
Unless you can get like best quality or anything like that. I think it's at a +20 because it's a. Oh shoot! I think it was a very rare.
You know that vehicles automatically they count as one step rarer for the purpose of working out the modifier.
Oh shit!
No, I didn't. Yeah. I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
He told you. He said no.
He got me. So I think it's what
What did you work it out as?
At plus 20, that's not including the 1-step rare, which...
Okay, so it makes it a plus 10 then.
Okay. It would help if I actually was on the thing.
Hmm. Oh shit! I'm in Cyberpunk still.
Dave shoots himself in the face.
Wow. Well, it's a flamer, so it doesn't hurt that much. And it's on fire, so again, it really doesn't hurt that much.
Yeah, I don't know. Who you ever fired a flamethrower in your own face, Arthur? It feels like a.
But I'm also not hyped up on Imperial magic juice, so wearing power armor.
Imagine coating yourself in orange juice concentrate, but it's on fire.
I can safely say I have never coated myself in orange juice concentrate. Period.
I think we all know that's a lie.
I mean, it's how Arthur gets his succulent skin, you know.
Succulent. Wow. What, you want to throw me on the Barbie next?
No, I'm just trying to get you to add more anagrams to your beginning intro.
So that gives you brings up to
66.
66?
Yeah.
It's critical success.
Tell me the odds.
The most commercialism he's ever done.
Hey, there you go.
I don't remember.
Is this gun cutter? Is he like a gemstone cutter, but for guns?
A gun cutter is a form of aircraft, where it's a space capable. It's a small. So whereas your regular shuttles are designed for transport back and forth, you could actually live off a gun cutter. You know, you could park your main ship somewhere deep in the space system and then fly a gun cutter to a world. It's not warp capable, but it's certainly, you know, and it's got guns as well as inherent in the name. You know, it can carry cargo too. It's larger than a regular shuttle and has living quarters.
It's a poor man's Thunderhawk.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
So Nero spends a lot of time looking at those heavy bolters, not so much the autocannons, but the heavy bolters, and like shining them.
Oh yeah,
making sure that the twin linkedness of them, make sure that the drive system works correctly.
I feel like Adrian's like a kid in a candy shop, like, you know, just given this thing, you know, all of the love, because it is a good pupper.
Yeah. Probably we're both continuously calling Ivy over when we're like, can you buff this out?
Yeah.
Look, like, hey, there's a ding back here. Looks like a micrometeorite.
Yeah, this bolt's loose. Can you tighten this up for us real quick?
So my impression of a gun cutter comes from the Eisenhorn computer game, where you spend a lot of time in and out of a gun cutter, where it's very much laid out like the Firefly, where it's like the whole bottom deck is like a large cargo area, and then it's got sort of like gangways and then different rooms off the top deck. Okay. Where you've got accommodations and like a higher bridge basically that overlooks.
Okay.
So, although it could be like the Eagle 5 from Spaceballs, like the Flying Winnebago even.
No, not that. We want the other one.
Speaking about puppers, did that pupper get ready for me, by the way?
Yes. So at any point you can pick up from Ivy the your brand new Cyber Mastiff.
Hell yeah!
Yep. I mean, who is a very good boy.
It's very good boy because he's programmed to be that way.
I will modify him to shoot flames out of his mouth. That will be my.
Can we ask what the gun cutter's machine spirit is called?
Okay, yeah.
Wibbly wobbly.
It's probably not my chance of getting a brand new one.
Fresh brand, not from a agrarian world.
Yeah,
on the frontier.
It's from when they had like a little civil war back there. Same guy that we got the las guns from.
Yeah, exactly.
Old Pete.
Let me give you a name for it.
The fact the las guns were actually in the gun cutter, just kind of used as storage.
I don't think you could fit 10,000 las guns in a gun cutter. That's too many las guns.
Its name is Adamant.
Adamant, nice.
Yeah.
All right, so Nero's still not sure if he believes in the Omnissiah, since the horrible, evil AI monster was like, I am the Void Dragon! The Emperor defeated me, but I control all technology. But he definitely believes in machine spirits, so...
Okay. I mean, the gun cutter does have a basic autopilot too, which most shuttles don't have. So
no. We don't need that. We don't need that. We have a pilot.
Yeah, but it could take like days to fly from the outer edge from the Orc cloud into a planet, for example. So you don't want to have Adrian on the stick for 4 days straight without sleep.
Yes, I do.
Why not? I don't see the problem with that.
Yeah, I actually do want to have that.
Okay,
It's elite dangerous.
We need to acquire 100,000 uppers, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some stems, guys.
Hit him up with your special ash.
We call it coffee where I'm from.
Okay, I don't remember. I think the other thing we need to make sure was that we had a tow for the Gilded Throne, and people ready to work on it to fix it.
Oh, I needed dual auto pistols.
Why?
Wow, that was okay. I'll answer that question for you. You just said it really concerningly. If you'll remember, I have been attempting to find a way to hold my heavy bolter while in melee combat and still be able to shoot. So my current plan is to drop the heavy bolter and use bolt pistols, dual bolt pistols. But I did get those arm-mounted things that go on my forearm, and I can use it by moving my hands while still holding other things. They won't fit the bolt pistols, but they will fit auto pistols, because auto pistols are actually pistols.
Bolt pistols are bolt pistols
Yes,
not
but
pistols?
when I said bolt pistol, what I actually meant was storm bolters,
I was
storm
saying, I
bolters,
thought
which
you
is
had
what I
storm
got.
bolters.
Yes,
So would do you want auto pistols or do you want bolt pistols?
I actually would like auto pistols.
What's the difference?
Well, for one thing, auto pistols are a lot easier to get.
That's true.
And I was just hoping the roll would be really easy and we'd get them immediately. The only reason I would use them is for melee combat.
I think, wouldn't you rather have las pistols? Because I think those would technically be better.
I am of the mind that shooting a bunch of times is better than shooting once.
I think they shoot the same.
They shoot
no,
once.
They don't. Okay. Okay.
So they're common, which means that they're a base plus 30 on this planet. It drops down to gets an additional plus 20 for being only wanting between 2 and 5.
Yep.
May as well have 5 anyway. So
Might
that
as
brings
well
up
add
to
to my
plus 50.
collection.
No, they're going in the thrice locked chest of Nero the Blade.
I don't think so.
Come on. Sometimes
I'm
I take
getting
stuff
at
out of there and
least-
it's really useful.
I'm getting at least 2 of them.
Okay. All right.
Did you want a better quality?
I guess go ahead and shoot for best, because why not?
Best. Okay, so it brings up to a total of plus 20.
Okay.
Plus your commerce test.
Which will probably tank this time because
That's all right. Plus 1 out of 10, so plus 30, so 66%. Same as what you got on the gun cutter, and you did that one.
What's
There
you go.
It's not good. I don't
I
like
take
this.
2 of them and I mount them on my arm sheath thingies, and then I take a third one and I stick it in the thrice locked chest. And well, the chat is probably just watching the screen transition back and forth right now. It's crazy. Let me get the dual. So what does best quality do for you?
It gives it the reliable quality, and it never jams.
Perfect.
But it does peanut butter.
Okay.
I think the last, maybe not
Dave,
the last thing.
Dave, I don't want to hear that that sort of stuff in your mouth until you have kids, all right? you haven't earned those jokes.
Hey man, we're doing that this year, so I'll fight you then.
Fight you then.
9 months from now, on a rainy roof, you and me, knife fight. Okay.
I think next step would be getting a bunch of burning blades.
Sacrilegious, unbelievable.
If it's even possible.
Hey, that extremely rare religious artifact you got's great. Let's get like 10 of those. We should all have one.
Is it like unique? If it's not unique, if it's unique, then it probably won't happen that way.
Hey, why don't you just get the religious shield that I have too, and then everyone could just have it. I'm kidding. Do whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit.
I don't see it. Where's it at? Burning blade.
I think it's from
rare.
Faith and Coin, is it? Oh no, you've got it.
It's an Into the Storm.
It is something. Okay, no worries. So extremely rare is a minus 30 plus. It's minus 20 on this planet. You know, how many do you want?
At least 3, so might as well get 5.
Okay, so that's in a plus 20. So
I tell you what, if you get it in the best quality ever, like the highest quality you can possibly get, because I can't remember what mine is. I think it's not the highest quality.
I think is what's going to aim for, just get best quality. Just because.
Okay, so you got a 6% chance plus your commerce test.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah.
I have.
Okay, so 16% chance now after your commerce test.
Pondo hits a 13.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my god!
One of those burning
Oh
blades
my
disappears
God.
immediately into Nero's inventory.
Okay.
What's the best quality you can have of that? Because I
Best.
have. Okay, because I already have best, I think.
Oh, okay. So you didn't actually. Yeah, we did get you best quality, didn't we? It was
It will
mostly
be delivered
for
in
Nero.
1 week.
Yeah, so we didn't really need these except for Nero and I.
Except for Nero, who really
I
needed
needed
it.
one as well.
I was the
I
one who
didn't really
said
need
that
one.
we should get them.
I'm
And Pondo was like,
hey,
we should. And then he was like, and Dodge should have it. And I was like, wait, what?
I didn't think you could get more than. I didn't think the bonus was.
All right.
Very
So
good.
I want to talk about how ridiculous Nero looks right now.
Mhm.
He has the shoulder mounted las gun when he's not in his power armor. He's got the heavy bolter, which he routinely carries. Kate has to follow him with the rocket launcher, or sorry, the missile launcher and all the reloads. He has storm bolters at the waist, and then he has arm-mounted deployable auto pistols and a frag grenade, and then ammo for all of those weapons, including a backpack for the las gun.
Do you want to give
He's
one of your
basically just walking around like this constantly, covered in jangly stuff.
He's like it's like the kid who put on
Also-
like 30 shirts.
Yeah.
Also, he's
Oh,
got
and he's
martyrdom.
probably on the side of the backpack now. He's got the burning blade. So he can just
He's got to go sideways through doorways now.
Also, to top that off, he has the martyrdom perk for when he dies, he blows up. You know, like
I think so.
Drops
'cause
a
he's got a
grenade.
bunch
That
of
already was going to happen.
I mean, that's certainly one thing that VR has taught me is that, you know, playing games like Call of Duty where you can just like lob a grenade while you're in the middle of shooting is pretty hard when you're going to put all your weapons away just to pull a grenade out and pull the pin before you can toss it. So,
But then you throw it and it doesn't go where you want, and so you have to do it again.
Is
I don't
burning
know.
blade not in the?
It
Into the
is.
storm.
It's
Oh, it's in Into the Storm. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes
Page
sense.
124.
All right, I have that.
123 actual 124 PDF.
All right, so I guess everyone's just fucking.
So what do we need to spend? Like 5 extra days waiting?
yeah, a week. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
we needed to wait a week for the Stormcutter as well.
When everybody's doing, nobody is. So
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's getting a jetpack. You're fine.
And then Arthur's just like, guys, I've made space in my back for a backpack that jets me up in the air. Can I get one of those next?
I don't think I can afford to carry any additional weapons at this point. I'm gonna die when it's like all of the ammunition on your body sets off when this critical hits.
critical. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that is a critical.
That's gonna be
hit
a
with the
battle
flame.
tech up in here.
All ammunition on your person explodes. How much
Yeah, I
damage
mean,
do
I'm gonna be in the lower atmosphere.
I'm
gonna be
curious about this.
vaporized.
I'm curious about this, James. What is the lightest armor that you can have that also has the most protection? Is it like a suit armor?
I mean, it's close to what we already
have.
have. It would be lathe. Well, it would be lathe forged to start with, but we already have
I'm
it.
talking
Lathe
like
forged,
a
best quality
stealth suit.
stormtrooper carapace is like the best you can get outside of power armor.
So you have something called
I'm talking about stealth suit stuff.
yeah. So there's something called an armored body glove, which can be worn underneath regular clothing as well.
Okay.
So it gives an armor protection of 3. But yeah, it conceals.
That doesn't seem very good.
Best quality would be
guess-
4.
Mm.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's completely concealable. So, other than that, fields. Obviously, fields work all the time, regardless if you could be naked and wearing a field, and it would still give you the protection most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, I have a pretty good field, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know how good my field is actually.
Your field annoys everyone around you.
No, we got.
I have a
It doesn't
common
matter.
conversion field. Okay.
Oh, okay, all right. It's not the one that
'cause I
flashes
was-
everybody now that we've got our Star Trek goggles.
No, it
It is
is
the
the
one that
conversion
flashes
field.
everybody.
Okay. Well, we have Star Trek goggles now, so that's good.
Yeah, then and it doesn't bother us anymore. We got that figured out.
Oh, it still bothers me. We can't bring any allies to the fight now.
Yeah, we do. We have extras. We got extras.
All right. James, you wanted to know if there was anything that happened? Nero spends a lot of time at a small shrine he's erected in his room when he's not working out or visiting the various clankins on the void ship or doing his job as an officer. He spends a lot of time praying for guidance and wisdom, because the idea that the Inquisition would just throw away an entire ship plus crew to hand us an empty hulk makes him wonder if that this is truly the Emperor's path and that this was the best way, or if the organization responsible for making sure stuff like this doesn't happen has gone astray. And he assumes mostly that of course the Inquisition knows best, but he's looking for the Emperor to grant him the knowledge, the bigger picture, so he can understand why it was necessary.
So while you're contemplating this,
Yep.
You get a message on your room comm.
Okay.
That the choir has received a communication for you from home.
Perfect. I decipher it using the try something. Triliteration cipher against any word with more than 2 letters and apply it to any word with less than 2 letters.
Okay.
So
You
how
were
long
talking so fast that was all I got time to write down.
Okay, so it is indeed a message from Shrain.
Yeah.
According to Shrain's information, that you are in the Josian Reach, which is where you are right now,
Okay.
and that you are apparently near Feng's World.
Yep.
He's not sure what your immediate plans are, but he has a request for you if you do happen to be going to Feng's World.
Understood.
Apparently, there are Arbites forces on Feng's World that have been requesting for the past 3 or 4 months for a Inquisitor of the Order Hereticus to attend Feng's World to help them with the current investigation. What the Arbites don't know is that within the Inquisition, the Ordo Malleus has placed an interdiction on any Inquisitors attending Feng's World at all. So obviously, Shrain isn't Hereticus or Malleus. He's looking at it from the outside. He's just curious. If you are going to go there, he would like to know what you can find out about what it is that's troubling the Arbites. Only because, if it's something that really should be looked into and the Ordo Malleus interdiction is causing, could be causing harm to the Imperium, he needs to know about it so he can, grease some wheels within the Inquisition to have something done about it. So he's not asking you to directly, involve yourself, more so as to simply, if you're going there anyway, see if you can find out what it's about and report back.
I know, James, but this is bait. You know that as soon as I get there, they're going to be like, there's a demon in the sewers. And I'm going to be like, that's too dangerous to be allowed to live. They do call me Nero Demon Killer. Is a thing I just made up. Let's go, boys.
Is that how Nero gets his name? Just makes them up on the spot. No one actually gives him names.
No, Don gave him the name the last word.
That's the only one he's actually.
No, Nero the Blade. Obviously, I made up Nero the Blade, but Nero the Blade was because Nero was like, the best way we could fight enemy starships is by ramming our ship into them and cutting them in half.
And people went,
Nero the Blade.
The only thing in his thrice locked chest is actually name ideas.
No,
in
don't
a
worry.
book.
There's plenty of stuff in the thrice locked chest right now, right next to that Aegis defense line that takes up most of his closet.
Also, I want to point out I don't want to roll anymore because I think I used. up all
you
my
did
luck
great,
tonight.
man.
Yeah.
Honda, listen,
Yeah.
you did really good this time around.
yeah, man.
That's amazing.
I'm super happy.
You peaked. It's time to retire now as undefeated.
It's. I'm done for tonight. You guys do your thing. I'm just gonna say.
Nero finds the fact that he gets a message about the Inquisition having some really questionable internal problems in the middle of him praying about it as a sign of guidance from, if not the Game Master, then the God Emperor himself, and finishes praying, and then arranges a meeting with the Lord Captain.
Okay. Are you pressing the emergency room button?
No, it's just you.
Oh, okay.
And I use our conferencing scheduling software to do it, Conference
Nice.
room 01A on the ship between the hours of 12 and 2 for purpose private meeting. Intended occupants, myself plus the captain, send email.
It gets postponed about an hour.
No, you're just waiting in the room for it to start for an hour. That's the.
I mean, I'd probably arrange for it to be a business lunch again, so.
Oh, yeah. For the business lunch, it's just going to be rations.
No. It's corn tortillas filled with corn.
Okay.
Crazy corn as a side dish.
Essentially, Pierre's going to make the whole ship be on
Rations?
ration mode.
Corn rations.
All right, now we have 2 things to talk about in this meeting. Lord Captain, can I ask why the ship is on rations when we recently received a massive shipment of corn? And
No,
we
I
have
just
plenty of
wouldn't say-
fresh food?
I'm not saying rations, but on like low quality mode.
Lord Captain,
a lot of
why is the
corn.
whole ship on low quality food?
Well, we got a whole bunch of corn. We need to use that. And plus, if the troops see that the officers are at the same quality as them, that might boost morale a little bit.
It's going to
turns?
lower the officers' morale. And Lord Captain, this is not a small ship. There are a lot of officers on board, and they really like partridge and Beijing duck, okay?
We're running low on that. It's very expensive.
We literally have thousands of units of wine. I've only given out like 4 bottles.
I don't know why we even
We've
have
got
those
so
thousands of
much
units.
Renka. Nero begins juggling bottles of Renka. He's just like, we could literally eat Renka with every meal, the entire command staff, and we wouldn't run out for like 2 months.
Yeah, I had to empty the aft system just to fill it with wine.
I don't even know why we got so much wine, to be honest.
Because we give it to people as gifts, because you never remember to give a gift, and I'm the only one on the entire ship who knows about courtesy. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I lost my temper for a moment. We need to give gifts because we're courteous and you're a rogue trader, and it does really good to show people that you're super rich by giving them an incredibly rare bottle of Renka. It's not like this thing's such grow. Well, it does
That we
grow on
have
trees,
thousands
but
of.
But why thousands?
because it's like diamonds. We're making an artificial scarcity.
Fair enough. Okay.
And unlike diamonds, no one needs to die to get it.
It's like PS5s.
Oh, Dave.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Too soon.
Please.
Too soon.
Oh, Jesus.
Pierre goes to
Pierre's
say
like,
something.
I think ship morale will go up. Dave's like, PS5, my morale. Boo!
I'll study the situation morale. If it's dropping, then I'll lift the embargo.
I
Essentially.
speak with the crew on a regular basis. Morale is fairly high.
Okay.
I saw the way that Pierre's staying on the pulse here, be like turning to someone next to his command chair saying, "Are you happy?" Yes, Lord Captain. Well, there we go. See,
Lord
no
Captain,
problems.
have you considered asking the Master of Whisperers to conduct this for you, since this is his literal actual job, or the Seneschal, or any of the members of your staff that do this for a living? Okay,
fine.
no delegation. Okay. Speaking of delegation, Lord Captain, what an excellent segue into the fact that I've received my first inquisitorial request on Fanks World.
Okay.
I will need to briefly depart our company to speak with several arbitres on Fanks World as to a troubling matter. And
So
simply,
let me just quickly point out, by the way, that the contact that that Riani was given for reaching out covertly
yes.
to House Nostromo was a Arbitres precinct warden and a number. That she was given a name and a number.
Perfect. James is like, you know what would be great if we tied all the storylines together.
Oh, you mean like the arbitres are going to be meeting as well? For the Navigator?
Yes, it does sound rather suspicious, but there must be it's a hive world, right? There must be literally thousands of Arbitres precinct wardens. What are the odds that it's the same person? Lord Captain.
I mean, pretty highly because of the
High,
GM over there.
that's impossible. I would bet several objects from the thrice
I
locked
don't
chest that
know.
this is not going to work out like that.
I don't know if you've seen what kind of rolls have been made tonight, but
I don't understand what you're saying, Lord Captain. Are you feeling okay?
you don't know how rare it is, those burning blades, just to find 5 somewhere to be ready to ship to me.
So what I was asking, Lord Captain, is that while you conduct business and hunt down this House Nostromo, or maybe I would do it during that, or perhaps after, I could take Adrian and the gun cutter and maybe Dawn, and we'd go. Well, actually, I don't want either of them knowing about this. I'll have a shuttle drop me near the Arbitrate's forces, and I'll speak with them privately.
Why privately?
It's an inquisitorial matter, sir.
Just don't have it act like it's an inquisitorial matter. You can bring the others
Dawn
along.
follows me everywhere and looks over my shoulder to look at the things that I'm doing.
You don't have to mention the inquisitorial part of it.
Okay, I will come up with a sufficient excuses to add like the two of them to fly me out there and then ditch them to go speak with a random arbitrates. I have a whole week to come up with it, sir, so I'm sure it'll be pretty good.
Okay. I'll inquire with the arbitrates that we're meeting about it first.
Please do not, sir. I must insist that you do nothing in this regard. Cassius Schrain does not know that I have spoken with you. I consider you to be if I am to serve 2 masters, you are the higher of the 2, but it is good that he does not know that my loyalties are divided.
You think he doesn't already know?
I think he thinks I'm loyal because I am loyal, just not completely to him. I'm loyal to the Imperium.
Never mind.
All right, well, you
Very
pay
well.
me and he doesn't, so that should make it pretty clear where I think my loyalties lie.
You are the worst inquisitor ever.
That's a bit of a stretch.
I'm not an inquisitor, though. I'm just an adept. I'm an agent of the Inquisition.
You know that what is it? The Jedi Knight Academy game.
Yeah.
You're the guy that falls to the dark side. That annoying side partner kid that you have.
Wow. Thanks.
It's like Roth or something, isn't it?
Yeah, something Roth. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I would appreciate if you gave me some leniency too.
You do what you need to do.
Thank you, Lord Captain. I appreciate your discretion in this matter. Would you like some crazy corn? I understand it's festive.
Actually, I have a question about the ship.
Which
You
ship?
mentioned that the Gilded Throne.
Yes.
I was told that there was like an assassin or something in there.
What was the cover story that Adrian... Well, what was the truth that Adrian had? There
What would Adrian
was
tell me?
a inquisitorial torpedo, which almost certainly contained some sort of device. I believe Dawn may know more about it than I do. That device was used to kill everyone on the ship. This agent then expired by themselves, sealed in a room with all of the torpedo warheads.
And all the and there's who was the person in the room?
A crewman on board who worked for the Inquisition, it would appear.
Interesting. I was told there was a data slate or something that wasn't working. Is this true?
It was destroyed, yes. Technically true.
Technically
It
true.
was destroyed.
Technically true, yes. No one knows any differently.
Okay.
Nero says, so about the crazy corn anyway.
What about the crazy corn?
Nero slides some over. He's just like, you should try it. The sauce is amazing. It's a regional specialty. The region being the whole planet.
It usually is.
Nero pulls out a bottle of Renka, but he does it in the way that makes it obvious he's product placementing towards the camera. pops it open and pours it, and that's where the scene fades out.
All right. Everyone now good to go to Finksworld?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, no worries. Since you got the skill, I will let everybody who's got it roll me Common Law Imperium at +0.
Oh boy. That is the thing.
Can I get the contemplate?
No, it's just a do you know it or not?
Oh, okay.
Oh, do I need a new sheet for this mastiff? Like, what does it do
I do know.
exactly?
I'll have to give you a I mean,
I don't like I don't like these early good rolls. It's not good. There's gonna be a combat and I'm gonna be screwed.
It'll be fine. I'll just swap places with you and die heroically.
I don't want you to swap play. I don't want to be near you, you explosive mess.
Don't worry. I'll explode with such force I won't be near you.
Captain, I'll die next to you because when I die, you die too.
Did you have the skill spoon or not?
No, I do not.
Okay, no worries. Okay, so Pierre, so what you've heard of Finksworld is that Finksworld was actually originally a so during the Angevin Crusade, it was used as a staging point for the Crusade forces who were basically expanding this region of the then Calix Expanse. So they built shipyards and orbital facilities to sustain the fleet of the battle group. Then, subsequently, once it sort of fell into disuse, the planet itself was used as a prison colony. So a lot of basically people that were exiled from other worlds or kicked out of the Crusade for whatever reason were sent there to live out their lives in hard labor. Since then, it's turned into more of a normal hive world. So there are a number of hives there. Technically speaking, the capital hive, if you can call it the capital, is the original prison colony, which is now expanded into a giant city. So rather than a regular hive which grows up, the Volg hive, which was the prison colony, has expanded outwards. And so it's this massive sort of, think of it like Megacity 1 in Judge Dredd, like just a big open expanse of, acid rain and poisonous skies, but where, the dregs of society that are the people that are still exiled there as prisoners go to, although there is still some industry and business to be had in Hive Volg. Although it's not technically the capital, Hive Nova Castilia is effectively it's where all the administrators, where all the imperial groups are. So the Administratum, the Astra Telepathica. You do know as well that the Battlefleet Calixis still use the old orbital yards for refits and repairs as well, but it's not something that you could use for your newly found ship, for example, because it's specifically an Imperial naval facility. I'd say, Spoon, that Adrian would definitely know about the naval presence there, but not know much about the world itself.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of big ships. A lot of ships.
Yeah.
It's one of the...
Okay, so essentially the capital, which technically the capital is still a prison sort of city, but there's no place that's acting. It's kind of the acting capital in a way. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. And we're going to the not prison part, right?
That's correct. Yeah. You like the well. So it depends. You don't exactly know where the arbitres are, but I mean the spaceport is in Nova Castilia.
Okay.
Do I know where my arbitres are?
No, all you've been told is that the arbitres on the planet have been looking for help regarding a matter for the Inquisition. Like, it didn't give any more content than that. Just the arbitres have been requesting. So you're guessing probably like whoever heads the arbitres on the planet.
Okay. I asked the Vox Master to figure out who is the head of the arbitres on the planet.
Okay, no worries.
Who is that? Which Patreon character is our Vox Master?
So the name of the precinct warden, Manus Cryptman.
So he is the guy we're supposed to be going to speak to anyway, right? He's the precinct warden.
You've been given his name and a number, so for the purposes of meeting House Nostromo.
Cryptman
with a K.
Ooh, with a K. How mysterious. All right. Is there like a private channel, can we encrypt our communications, or are we just going to openly call the planet?
I mean, you could call the Arbitrae's precinct house on an open Vox and then request a private, like an encrypted communication. But there is no, I mean, the number you've got is not like it's a Vox phone. It's just a 9-digit number.
Okay.
You're not sure what it means.
I look to the Lord Captain to see if he's okay with me calling this number so that we can send a shuttle down there and talk to this guy about smuggling out a Nostromo navigator.
Wouldn't Riani be the one that would get the contact? Because it's technically her contact.
Ooh, yes, I call her to the bridge. We do this all conspiratorially.
On the bridge.
Yep.
In front of the senior staff.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we tell them to leave. Except for the Vox operator. We need to operate that Vox.
And Adrian who's flying the ship.
Well, Adrian's part of the Cabal.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Don is also part of the Cabal. Just to be clear, we're all part of it. Every person who you see on your Zoom screen is a Cabalist right now.
Okay.
What's the Cabal?
The main character party.
Are you having this conversation before you arrive at Finksworld or after? Because obviously she can't come to you while you're in warp transit.
Right.
So it's
we're calling her there when we're closing in on the planet.
Okay, once you've exited the warp and then the other side. Okay, no worries. So before you get to organize this scene, then.
Okay.
When the hand first transits out of the warp into the Finksworld system, your Master of Etherics reports that there is a large number of vessels in orbit of the planet. They count 14 total, all of which are broadcasting an Imperial naval ident. And you've sort of only gone like 10 minutes out of the warp starting heading that way before you get a Vox call from it's coming from the naval yards themselves.
Okay. I tell the Master of the Vox to answer it. And I'm also standing by with the run out the guns button.
Okay, no worries.
Look, you never know. The planet might explode, okay? It's happened before.
Okay. So you just want the Master Vox to take the call and see what they want before.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, so he takes the call and he speaks briefly with whoever's on the other line and then turns to you. It's a petty officer from the naval yards. They've told us that the Imperial Navy is currently using all high and low orbit docks, and that if we plan to visit Finksworld, we'll need to stand off high orbit and shuttle down from there. So effectively, you can't go close onto the planet. You'll actually be in orbit. You'll have to be which means that the ship's got to be constantly flying to keep up with the planet as it still travels.
We do have a second ship crew, right, that can fly the ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adrian does get to sleep from time to time.
Yeah.
But also, it wouldn't be for running things like shuttles with goods back and forth. It wouldn't be ideal. To take a gun cutter down, no problem at all. But to actually try and conduct commerce from an out of orbit position would be difficult.
To unload basically all the food that we brought.
Yeah, all the sheaf corn.
Lord Commodore, this is a somewhat untenable position. Perhaps we can find some way to speed these people along their way. This corn isn't going to stay fresh by itself. You don't want non-fresh corn. I mean, that's just stale corn. It's not good.
Vox Master, can you put them through so I can speak with them?
All right. He pushes a few buttons and a face of a junior petty officer appears on the screen. This is Petty Officer Rannick of the Finksworld Naval Shipyards.
Yes, I am Lord Commodore Pierre Cowles. I have come to bring a shipment of food for the planet.
I will need to get you clearance from the Rear Admiral. Continue your in-system burn, and we'll be in contact shortly once the Rear Admiral has assessed the requirement.
I'll wait about an hour.
They cut the comm. So now you can do the scene with Rihanna if you like, while you're waiting for this response.
I kick everybody else that isn't someone we need for Rihanna.
Okay.
No worries.
Empty the bridge.
Yep.
Rihanna, thank you for joining us.
All right. She's obviously freshened up, having left the Oculus after days of warp travel. Hello, Nero.
How is the Oculus, Rihanna? Do you have a lot of fun using it? Done Battle Sisters lately? Maybe some Beat Saber? Never mind. Continue past that.
Anyway, Nero, Lord Captain, Lord Commodore, Dawn, Adrian.
Oh, we're here.
Master.
Okay.
Yes, we're all here.
Yep, the Cabal is here apparently.
Yes, we're caballing right now. We need to contact Precinct Warden Manus Kryptman on the planet. This is the person that you believe will be our agent of House Nostromo, yes, Briani?
Yes, House Zantai told me that he would be the person to contact to get covertly in contact with House Nostromo.
And he is in charge of all of the Arbites on the planet, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
The Arbites, the Precinct General or Precinct Warden.
Do you want to make that contact since you're a member of House Zantai, or, should we do it?
I'm happy to do that.
Okay. Let's find a way to do this in an encrypted method, like a one-time message pad sheet, or maybe a transliteration cipher. I actually learned one recently. Let me tell you how it goes.
We just expose my secrets to you. all you need is this prescribed tome. All right, well, she gets to do that while you're traveling in system. So she comes back shortly after having reached out to the warden. So the warden didn't seem to know anything about this Nostromo business. What he did confirm for me, though, is that the number that we gave is a prisoner ID from one of the prisoners in High Volg, a prisoner by the name of Raphael Mordino. I can only guess that the intent of my family was that we reach out to this Mordino. According to the precinct warden, they have a device that we can collect in Hive Nova Castilia that will allow us to track individual prisoners based upon their implanted ident signatures when we head to Hive Volg.
Okay. All right. Well, let's set a meeting with this Manus Kryptman so that we can pick up the device and hunt down this Raphael Mordino.
Okay,
and probably arrange with them to, give us Raphael Mordino, since I assume they're not just going to let us take him off of their hands.
I don't know the full details of. I suppose we'd have to ask him.
We better just go down there and ask him.
Yes.
Before we do so, have any of you had previous dealings with the Arbites?
I haven't.
Nero looks around and is just like, only in a sort of Imperial Guardish way.
So,
only in ways to get.
I was arresting you after a bender.
I have never been arrested.
Fair enough.
I've had people arrested by Arbites. That's about it.
Ooh, that's a good one. We should do that again sometime. Sounds like a lot of fun.
It was just
the
bones
other
that
way
are
I
on my
learn about
property.
Arbites is when I bring them horrifying criminals. I haven't updated my bounty slate since the first episode. What's on his criminal bounty slate?
James, I'm going to spend some XP and buy common lore Arbites.
Oh, shit! Incredible. And he's like, actually, I happen to know a lot about the Arbites. Let me tell you what I know.
So how much spoon do you know about the Arbites?
I know some, not a ton though.
Yeah, so effectively, the Arbites are distinct from regular police forces on a planet in that the actual planetary law is enforced by whatever police forces the planet has naturally. The purpose of the Arbites is to ensure that the Lex Imperialis or imperial law is followed, usually regarding things like any actions that might inhibit a planet's ability to do things like meet its tithe, or the forming of cults or that sort of thing, where the Inquisition is not yet involved. This requires some good old-fashioned street investigation to actually find it. For the most part, most arbitrators are broken down into two distinct groups, either being the arbitrators themselves, which are like Judge Dredd style street judges who go out, investigate, kick in doors, crack heads where required, and the magistrates or judges who are actually like a proper judicial sort of body that, especially when it involves things like noble houses, for example, where they'll actually hold like a proper court of appeals or that sort of thing. On top of that, you have lots of mini little sort of groups as well. So things like the Verispecs, which is a group that looks after forensic investigation. There's a group which looks after there's a specific like a tracking arm that uses cyber mastiffs to track things down. They're a highly matrixed organization. But yeah, for the most part, they're not concerned with street level crime. They're concerned with things that affect the Imperium as a whole.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally, any planet with an Arbitrate's presence would probably be less than 20 officers total. Thanksville, given its size and the fact that it was once a prison world, probably has upwards of 100.
Okay. And I'll kind of relay the general gist of that is that they're high level super cops that don't they don't really screw around with low level stuff.
Okay. So shortly after, you get a Vox targeted at the Lord Commodore, apparently coming from a Rear Admiral Romulus Demetrius.
I'll pick it up, answer it.
Okay. You get an older naval admiral appears. You can see that he has lost an arm in some previous battle, which hasn't been replaced with a medic. So he's got like the sleeve that can be sort of folded over and buttoned to cover where the arm once was, along with some cybernetics on his head that like replaces one of his eyes and has some sort of tubes coming out the left-hand side of his head down to his shoulder. Lord Commodore. Cowles, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I'm Rear Admiral Romulus Demetrius, commander of the Fenxworld Naval Yards. I understand that you have come to drop off some supplies to Fenxworld.
Yes, some food, essentially.
That's good. Our last food shipment has been, we've not heard from the ship that was supposed to bring it for some time. So that was beginning to potentially cause problems for Fenxworld. So we're glad you're here. Where have you bought food from?
Oh shoot, where were we just at?
It's Stage 2,
Lord Commodore.
Stage 2, yes.
Oh, you didn't happen to run into a vessel there called the Gilded Throne, did you? They were the ones bringing our food from that same planet.
We know, Rear Admiral, we know. The ship was found adrift with all hands lost and on fire.
All cargo was destroyed as well.
I think Pierre kind of smacks Nero in the back of the head.
Yeah. And then he looks at Adrian, who also said something.
Yes, but Nero knows better.
I'm out of arm's reach as well.
I smack Adrian over the back of the head.
Perfect. Nero is so happy right now.
Is there some problem, Lord Commodore?
No. It appears that some sort of deal went down and all hands left the ship. I'm guessing someone purchased it, and the old crew decided to wreck the place before it was left.
This is most concerning. We have a large number of ships already preparing here for an escapade into the Koronus Expanse to try and clear the enemy fleet, which apparently sits within the Maw. But we may have to send some ships to investigate who has attacked an Imperial transport ship within our near vicinity. Thank you for this information, Lord Commodore. It will be most useful.
The ship wasn't attacked. They just left the ship, it seems, while also setting it ablaze.
Well, but by doing so, they also caused significant harm or potential significant harm to the Imperium. We're just lucky that you came along when you did.
Oh, I understand now. Yes.
Anyway, this is not a matter that I need to concern you with. You've done a service, but are you not, Lord Commodore, a rogue trader? Are you? What brings you into the Calixis sector? I would have thought that you would have been plying your trade beyond the Maw. Although I suppose if you can't travel into the Expanse right now, probably doing business in the Calixis sector is as best you can do. Is that have I read this right?
No,
yes,
it's time to go sovereign citizen on him. Say, I'm not here to discuss my day, officer. Am I being detained?
I received I was given a offer for a contract that I thought was profitable, and that would also help for the might of the Imperium.
All right. In any case, I this is not something that I need to truly know about. So I've cleared you a high orbital berth. We'll send the details to your pilot. You'll need to offload as quickly as possible though and clear the berth so that we can resume operations, because we are on a time frame to get these ships to the Expanse.
All right. I'll let my crew know immediately to prepare all hands. Thank you, Admiral.
Thank you. If there's anything else I can assist you with, please contact me.
I sure will.
Right.
I contact our cargo master and have him come to the Cabal.
Okay, no worries.
I contact our cargo master and tell him, hey, get ready to start delivering stuff to the surface.
No, but we need to Cabal with him real quick.
Why?
Because we need to set our chronometers.
All right, everybody ready now.
Listen, all right, the conversation goes like this. Ready, James? Cargo Master, how long will it take to offload all of the corn that we're selling to this planet?
About 16 hours if we work straight through.
All right, everyone, set your chronometers. We have 16 hours to finish our business on this planet.
You have 15 hours.
Nero does -1 each. Go.
Yeah, I mean, out of character, you can still, like, the ship will have to leave high orbit, but you can still get, once again, the gun cutter would still get back to the, you don't need to be off the planet in that time. Just probably the rest of your crew does. That's all.
Nero is already taking the golf cart to the cargo bay.
Okay.
Where the gun cutter awaits.
Could you drop the cargo master on the way through?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Everyone can ride it. We've established that this is an airport golf cart with skulls.
What was the point of bringing the cargo master all the way through the ship when he
came all the way up to the bridge? Now it's going all the way back to the
Nero will answer that question while they're in the golf cart, and he says, "Have you ever watched a play and or a entertainment? Do they have like television shows? They do, right? It's just not called television.
Depending on the planet. Yeah.
Have you ever watched one where criminal investigators will find something odd, and rather than telling the other person about it, they say, hey, come see this, so that all of the main characters are gathered in one room and we all see it at the same time?
Yes, but this is not a television show.
Nero parks the car and gets out, because obviously they're where their destination is. And he turns toward the camera and says, of course, Lord Captain, of course.
You get a message from Riani asking if you want her to join you on the trip to the surface as well.
I turn around to the back of the golf cart and say, yes, Riani, we want you here.
I mean, she stops to like change out of like her formal robes and cover her third eye properly. Yes. And
so I have a conversation with Cade slightly away where I'm like, all right, Cade, unfortunately, because we're bringing Riani, I can't bring you because you'll cause her intense chaos and badness. I'm going to need you to stay here and continue working with Joss. You have twice as much homework now.
Wouldn't he zero her out? I don't know how he would cause her.
It's bad, chaos. Right? Isn't like a right sheet? I don't know. For her, it's bad, James. Right? If they hang out together.
Yeah, it's not going to cause like sudden destruction, but for her, it will put her in pain.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Lord Captain, I can't believe you don't know about the level of pain you would be subjecting this young woman to. I torment her occasionally, but this would be torture. I
was just merely pointing out the fact that you're making it sound overdramatic.
Nero will ruffle Cade's hair and say, be a good lad, run on now and do your double homework. Don't listen to the Lord Captain. He's trying to fill you with torturous pain. You're not ready for that yet. We don't do that until you're 16.
Isn't he like 14?
Off Cade goes.
You have at least 2 years without pain. Go ahead.
No. It's not that he lives a life without pain. It's just that he doesn't take the torture interrogation skill until he's 16. We don't teach him how to do it to others until then. I feel like as someone who doesn't suffer from emotions in the way everybody else does, he probably would be pretty good at it. All right, Nero gets on the shuttle, and he's super excited because he's so ready to be in this gun cutter.
Yeah, I mean, look, even though it's not brand new, it has been like, well cleaned, so it has still got that, like all the leather's been replaced, so it has got that new leather smell as well.
Nero spends the whole time asking to run gun tests. He's like, all right, Adrian, I know that it's been about 15 minutes since the last test. I just want to make sure that those autocannons are still working. I'm requesting permission from the pilot to fire the number 1 and 2 autocannons, 15 rounds of ammunition apiece.
No, you can't fire weapons in orbit. Bolters. Stop it.
Heavy bolters, because the autocannons belong to me.
Understood. Requesting permission to fire the heavy bolters.
That's right. 30 rounds rapid. Engage.
At a atmospheric deflection shot, so it'll burn up in orbit before it hits anything.
No, that's a terrible idea.
Brrr! Like he holds the trigger for 1 second. Brrr! Looks good. Looks clear. We'll do it again another hour just to make sure those lines are good.
I mean, look, the gun cutter is like it looks pretty blocky in the picture. So I sort of imagine that when it's in atmosphere, if you fire like the weapons for too long, it slows to stall speed, like an A10.
Yep.
Or like firing from a panther in Hell Let Loose. You're going max speed. You fire the main gun, and the whole tank goes. Poof.
James, have you read the Black Library fiction Double Eagle, the book?
No.
It's super good. It's about an Imperial flight wing. It's really good.
That thing is actually, the gun cutter is actually pretty sizable because it can fit 30 people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's got a crew. It's got a crew of there's a pilot, optional co-pilot, a tech priest, and 2 gunners. So
it's quarters for 6 people, which I guess would cover the crew plus 1.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically.
All right. So you follow the directions to. You've been directed to land on Hive Nova Castilia, which is, as in, not the capital, but it's the functional capital. The hive itself is your classic sort of high-rise spire hive. It's sort of the top of it is open, so rather than it coming to like a tip like most hives do, it sort of ends on like a mesa of open plan, up in the clouds, where you can see sort of noble houses. The other sort of distinct object is there is some sort of structure that extends up from the sort of very edge of the flat area, which is, think of it like a giant metal keg, like a large cylindrical building with no windows, just metal walls and a big sort of like gateway at the base where it meets the city edge. Otherwise, it's not marked in any way, shape, or form other than there's this big keg-like structure sticking out the side of the hive.
I'm thinking panopticon for no apparent reason.
Okay, you can do that.
Okay. Leonie, what is that giant metal keg down there? Surely you know. You're a person that knows stuff about planets.
Let's see if she does. It's a skill like.
You're telling me she only knows how to get to planets, not do things on them?
That's it. No, she's got probably.
She needs to make a bardic knowledge check. Obviously, I need to know the average temperature and humidity level at all seasons.
Yeah, she has no skills relevant to this. So she's
my God, Rihanna!
I don't know. I've never been here before.
All right, never mind then.
All right, you're directed to a landing platform where you put the shuttle down. Just 1 second, I need to distract you. Talk amongst yourselves while I distract a child.
So, Adrian.
Yes, Nero.
Look at this ammo case that I've brought. And he opens it up and says, there are 5 premium bottles of Renka inside.
Fantastic.
Yes, I know. We'll be presenting them to the precinct warden.
I'm sure that he will enjoy them.
Why 5 bottles?
Because, Lord Captain, you told me that you didn't want there to be 5,000 bottles on your ship anymore. So we'll be going to be extra generous in the future.
Okay.
I'm sure that will be more than enough for the entire precinct, actually.
He's like, whoa. There's only 5 bottles, Adrian. There's thousands of police officers on this planet.
Everyone gets a fumble.
Thousands of police officers, yes, but there are not thousands of arbitres on the planet.
We'll see. We'll see.
Sorry, during both Cyberpunk this week and Rogue Trader last week, I got in trouble because I gave my daughter the iPad when she hadn't finished her chores. After telling me that my wife had said that she could have it, I found out later on she was lying.
Yep,
so
that's classic. Classic kid stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, I had to interrogate her a bit further this time to verify that she actually could have the iPad. So she's absolutely.
What was the code word that your mother said in the 3 security question answers?
Yeah. What is it? Something you have, something you know.
Something that you are. Yeah.
Well, you are my daughter. That does check out.
Sorry. Okay. So effectively, other than people coming over to sort of refuel the gun cutter as required, people pretty much leave you alone to your own devices on this planet. So according to your scans of the planet as you come in, so most of the planet has extremely hot days or extremely cold nights, but the 2 poles and the equator are temperate areas. So the hive you've landed at is at the south pole of the planet, where it's right now it's sort of the early evening. Which probably will be for some time, given that it's a polar location, and it's a bit on the sort of the cool side of pleasant. So I don't know, maybe 65 degrees Fahrenheit, sort of quite manageable, but a bit on the cooler side.
For those of you in Celsius, that's slightly below room temperature.
Yeah, it's 17, 18 degrees Celsius.
Dave's like, oh yeah, I like it when it's that warm. I live in Poland where it's currently negative 30 Celsius.
It is snowing quite rapidly out right now. So.
I remember seeing snow several years ago. I was in another country.
Hey, they have snow in Australia, just at the top of a very large mountain.
Yeah, called the Snowy Mountains. Yeah.
That's as good as naming a mountain the Lonely Mountain when it's the only mountain in sight. Exactly. Descriptive.
Well, you think that's funny? You should see a movie called The Man from Snowy River. And now that makes even more sense.
In any case, so the hive itself definitely has a very industrial nature to it. So even where you're in the upper parts where nobles and merchants live, there are silly sort of giant smokestacks which obviously extend from beneath to allow sort of wisps of white grey smoke from industrial activity below to exit out into the atmosphere. People are going about their business on a relatively normal basis. You get some odd looks because you're probably not wearing the fashion of the time. You're probably clearly off-worlders, or you're carrying more guns than someone has any right to carry.
Yeah, that's Nero right there. I was gonna say he's in military dress rather than fashion.
I do believe we have completely removed stealth from any equation that we possess when it comes to dealing with scenarios. So
Nero pulls out a small handkerchief and goes, yes. Come on, Don, what do you think we are? The Inquisition? We don't need to operate with stealth. We're rogue traders. Dab, 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 dab. It's important that we make our presence known. It gives us better saleability and marketability. You know what they say, there's no such thing as bad news.
Nero, are you exhausted? Or you seem to be sweating quite profusely.
Carrying a lot of objects right now. Don, there's a pretty rare piece of equipment that the Adeptus Arbites use that you might like. It's called a Tarsus Pattern Suppression Shield, and it gives you +4 APs to your arm and your torso when you're using it. A melee wielder like yourself could use such a thing.
What is it exactly?
It's actually a shield. It's like a
Captain America shield. It's like a tower shield.
Yeah.
And when you hit it, you can also cause it to give an electronic blowback. Yeah. It's like Black Panther and Captain America had a baby.
Oh, okay. I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, think about like the shields in like Rainbow Six, where they're like, like the like with the little vision seat in it as well, that sort of thing.
I feel like as they're passing somebody, Nero points one out and says, "You could consider getting something like that, Dom."
They're like storm shields, or is that only a Astartes thing?
They'd be like a way, way, way powered down version of a storm shield without the actual power field, I don't think.
So they give you 4 armor?
+4 armor to your arm and torso. So if someone tries to counter stab you, you can block it with the shield.
Is that like a parry? Or
No,
is it
it's
just
the defensive quality. So if you take the hit on your shield armor and your torso, you get the bonus AP points.
Yeah, it's also got weapons that you can beat people with the shield as well, so it's got its own weapon stats.
You could technically dual wield your sword and your shield.
Okay, yeah. Shit, why not?
I mean, still have an acquisition for the night.
Yeah, Nero just adjusts his sunglasses, which are also his photo visor, and says, "Don't say I never did anything for you, Don." I honestly
don't think I've ever
this...
taken any damage in this game yet, though. But sure, I'll take a.
Or just make it
that
less
sounds
likely that you take damage.
Yes, Nero just looks around at all his guns and says, "I haven't used all of these, but at some point I assume I'll need them." They said I was crazy when I put everything into the heavy bolter. Well, all those people are dead.
If anyone should carry a shield, I do believe it should be Nero, to be honest with you.
Where
Given
would
the
I
amount of times
keep
that
it?
he's.
We might be able to mount one on the front of your heavy bolter.
I'm sorry, what? Could you put like he turns to the bolter and says, Don't listen to him. He's joking. Please do not upset the machine spirit of my gun by suggesting that you would modify it by placing something in front of it."
It would just it's a common thing. They put shields in front of heavy weapons like that all the time.
Normally when a heavy bolter is crew served, like on a tripod, it has like a sort of metal.
That's different. I thought he was like, make a shield, the bolter barrel goes through it, and now I just go around every bolter with a shield in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, basically, pretty much.
Nero's just like, calm down. I know it'll be okay. It will be okay.
All right. So let's take awareness rolls, please. At +10.
Did you know that we're actually really good at these, James?
Well, let's find out if you are or not.
What is it?
Awareness rolls at +10.
5.3.
Oh, I'll fate point that. I don't.
I will not fate point that. I'll accept my failure.
Oh, God, I rolled 99. That's where the bad roll came in. I rolled a 99 there. Okay, 2.6.
Okay. So those of you that pass, notice something. First off, whenever you're walking through the streets of this place, you do see a lot of signs up on poles or on the side of buildings indicating missing persons. And rather than like, it's where someone's just like got it on their own printer and, put it up and, all of people like these are like some sort of like official missing persons signs. And they all indicate like missing since, and we'll have, the date that someone's been missing since. And then a few of them, like the sign is still there, but it's got like a big red cross through it. So they haven't put it down; they've just crossed it out as such. But yeah, there's quite a few, and it's almost like you get the impression this is less about saying, have you seen this person, and more about warning this person is now missing.
Kind of like a watch out for this person.
Yeah, something. Yeah.
Like if you see them, consider them armed and dangerous type thing.
Or more like report it to us sort of thing.
Okay.
Like there's a number to contact. Or like there's a Vox code to contact to report someone.
What is this frequency of the gender?
You don't pick any particular. Give me. Let me think. What's it be? This would be a logic roll. I'll take a logic roll.
I'll do logic.
3.5.
Can I add my contemplate?
Sure.
I am also intrigued. I was thinking of inquiry, but I don't think that would match. That'd be.
But inquiry is more like asking around. This is just
Yeah, I'll fate point that again.
Man, you're burning through that shit.
Oh, yeah, no. I got
Wow.
nothing.
Okay. So, Dawn, you don't get any particular sort of sense of, they're all this gender or this age group. Looking at it though, because it does indicate missing, Peter Smith, Baker, blah blah blah. Is that all the missing people are from relatively banal professions? So this person was a, factory worker. This person was a tiler. There's no.
So there's no indication that they might have been business owners or
there's like a butcher there, for example. So the butcher is missing, and he obviously owns his own butcher shop, but he's still a street level person, right? There's no nobles, no administratum people, no key cogs in the imperial machine, just like the sort of general faceless masses that make up these cities. But that's the thing, is you be sure, you're still in the upper hive route. None of these people would live here in this part of the hive. They'd probably live further down in the hive.
So is it a case of someone wants their land, or is it not that deep? Am I thinking too much about this?
You couldn't tell that from what information's available here.
Right.
Just it seems to be a mix of people, general people, all ages, all genders, with relatively banal backgrounds. And the Arbitrator's precinct is not on the top level, so you're going to go down a bit. So you guys basically find your way to a mass conveyance, which is basically effectively think of the train from Final Fantasy VII, where it's sort of it loops around the hive, going deeper with each new loop. So you're gonna ride that down to the level where the Arbitrator's precinct house is, and this is probably a good point for a break, I'm thinking.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Remember, all things in this universe either are or are not a cabbage.
I mean,
you mean this universe or the 40K universe?
All universes. It's universal.
Just varying degrees of cabbage.
Multi-universal. No, there's no degree of cabbageness. It's binary. You either are or are not cabbage.
I see.
Okay.
Quark,
I need to
not a cabbage.
What about
Cabbage?
What about
Cabbage.
something like a lettuce?
Not a cabbage.
No. I'm definitely going to have to bring in some sort of warp monstrosity now, which is neither cabbage nor not cabbage.
Okay, we'll be back in 8 minutes, guys.